experiments, both inside and then outside as they go and work and do spacewalks. Professor Head, I just want to get your thoughts. And again, I know that you can't see exactly what I'm seeing now, but they're all three together. It's more than just, I know they'll go through and pack everything they brought with them, but right now it just looks like they're sort of getting their bearings and talking about what's around, what to do next.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going on. You know, it's you know, you briefed, you've practiced these things, and you know, I think comparing notes and going over assignments, you know, checklists and things like that, and just making sure, literally, that the space station is shipshape, as they say. That is to say that it's ready to go in good shape.
Because they have a certain, as part of their mission, they have certain things that they need to do to get the space station ready for the next crew.
That's true. You know, I think that's, you know, you can believe that when the last three taikonauts left after their 3-month stay, you know, they prepared things. They didn't just, you know, leave the laundry on the floor. You know, I mean, they really prepared things. And so, you know, that's what the welcome was left from the last three taikonauts for this crew. And again, the long-term stay is really important. The record is 437 days in space by a Russian cosmonaut, Valery Polyakov, and so, you know, that's a long, long time. So, you know, you really get to understand what the effects are, and this is important for going to the moon and setting up a lunar base and going on to Mars, to really learn how humans can adapt and what the problems are and how we overcome those.
Do you think we'll see missions last a year long? Will that be normal, or just does it depend on what the goal is for that mission?
I think it depends on what the goal is, but clearly, you know, one wants to understand the effects on the body, and all the kind of long-term research, like a year or more, is really important. It's really important data to help us understand how we alleviate any problems and take advantage of any you know, benefits.
We're taking a look at these taikonauts here. They're pausing for a moment. It looks like they're standing all next to each other. And
it's the group photo.
I think it's the group photo. You might be able to hear a little bit of the audio. I'm going to let them speak.
感谢大家对神舟13寸组的支持和关爱，我们一定不负厚望，请党和人民放心。
北京明白，祝贺你们成功完成首次镜像交会对接，顺利进入空间站组合体，你们辛苦了，预祝在轨半年工作一切顺利。
So we're just seeing the crew of the Shenzhou-13 greet mission control. Looks like they're saying everything's okay. They're waving, standing next to each other. After they entered the space station, they did a couple of housekeeping items looking around, but what you just saw was the crew sort of addressing the camera for the first time and just saying, hey, we're here, we're okay, and express their gratitude to mission control. We heard mission control respond back. Heard a lot of clapping, so very happy that everyone seems to be doing just fine.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't know if you were able to hear just a little bit of that, some of the applause and the smiles on their faces that they are there and they're ready to go.
I remember that from Apollo. I was involved in every single Apollo mission, and that was just a great time. And you know, when they landed safely and we got the first word back from them, and they had a lot of code words, like you know, like when they said things are fine, you really knew they were fine. Okay, so that's what they were doing there too. It's a great personal greeting to the people that got them there, and the people that'll help them stay there and make them healthy, etc. In mission control.
And we're just seeing them float around, but it was just really nice to see when they did address everyone. They tried to kind of stand together and float in unison, or they appeared that they were standing next to each other, but we know that they were floating and kind of trying to stay, even. But it was just such a great shot to see all of them. Just your final thoughts, Professor Head, about what has taken place just in the last 12 hours with this launch and this docking and this boarding process. And now they're up there getting ready to do their work for the next 6 months.
Well, I'm a planetary scientist, and so I think in the long term, I'm a geologist. I think in the way long term, and what we're trying to do here is actually explore. And so what we've seen here is what will be the regular kind of like trip to go into orbit and to get into a place where we can go on to the moon. So basically, this is preparation for planetary exploration, for lunar exploration on the part of China. And we're preparing to do that in the United States in terms of the first woman and the next man on the moon, and the Artemis program. And I hope we can meet there and share common goals and objectives. And I think what we've seen here is a really momentous, major step into a 6-month stay, which is a real step towards taikonauts going to the moon.
And we know that this is just one of many different projects that China has in space. You mentioned the moon. Let's talk about that a minute. I know that you said that you were part of Chang'e 5 or looked at some of the stuff that came back from the moon. What do you make of what we're seeing with China on the moon so far, on the far side of the moon?
Well, China has really blazed the way in robotic exploration of the moon in the last decade. The Chang'e program, it's been a real pleasure for me to meet and get to know Ouyang, the father of the Chinese lunar exploration program. What a wonderful scientist, exceptional scientist, and a wonderful man. And to work with all my Chinese colleagues in China and remotely now. But they've really accomplished a lot. Far side lunar landing, as you said, a rover that's still operating on the far side, sample return mission flawlessly. And again, landing on Mars with the first try. I mean, this is great. And I think a solar satellite was just launched, and the big telescope, radio telescope. I had managed to visit there last time I was in China. It was absolutely incredible. And so it's great to have a very strong international partner in exploring the cosmos. It's just wonderful.
And let's touch on Mars quickly. We know that a lot is happening on Mars. We have the Chinese mission, but we also know that the United States has something going on there, as well as the UAE.
Say that again, sorry.
I was just asking you about the current missions on Mars. I know you mentioned Mars and the rover there, but we also know that the United States is there, for example, as well.
Yes, and they're very complementary missions. The Zhurong rover of China is operating. It's gone almost a kilometer. It's exploring some very interesting areas, perhaps an ancient ocean where the water used to be on the surface of Mars, and perhaps life. And it's very complementary to Perseverance, the NASA mission, and the upcoming ESA mission. All three of them together will really teach us a lot about that early history of Mars when we think life might have started on Mars. So it's great. And again, there's international cooperation and collaboration there as well.
What do you hope to see in the coming weeks and months ahead? I know that we've been just talking ad nauseum about all the different parts of this mission, going back to the Tiangong with the Shenzhou-13. What do you think you'll be looking for? What's your favorite thing to watch for in these missions?
Well, having worked with all the astronauts since the Apollo program, I really like to see how different people respond in space. And each has a very interesting personality difference. The one common effect is that all the astronauts that come back, and taikonauts and cosmonauts, all of them who come back are completely influenced by the view of the Earth from space. So you're looking back down on the Earth and you realize how thin that atmosphere is and how tenuous it is. And you also appreciate the fact that, wait a minute, where's France? Well, I can't quite see the boundary. Oh, you can't see the boundaries. Where's the border between China and Russia? You can't see it, okay? And so this has a major effect on all the astronauts that come back. And I think I look for the human things. You know, a lot of the experiments are interesting to me for sure, but the key here is that I think that what you really want to see is you know, how they operate, how they accommodate to space, and that what that means psychologically. And I think having the taikonauts teach students is just very inspirational. So I'm excited about that as well.
I can't wait to see that. With you on that, Professor James Head from Brown University, thank you so much for staying with us. We appreciate your insight as we watch all of this unfold.
Yeah, congratulations again, and onward and upward, as we say.
And thank you for watching China 24. I'm Elaine Reyes. My colleague Zhao Yang is up next with The World Today, live from Beijing.